Welcome to the This Mum Loves Tech podcast, the go-to show for female business owners who want to simplify tech and get the support they need to grow their online businesses with confidence. I'm Nicola Walsh, your podcast host. I'm also a mum to two cheeky boys and I love tech, so you don't have to. I'm here to share actionable tips, tools and strategies that will help you streamline your business and make the tech work for you. So whether you're watching after the kids have gone to bed or listening while on the school run, let's dive into today's episode and make tech that little bit easier. Hello and welcome to another edition of This Mum Loves Tech. So today I'm going to be sharing my 5 top tips for MailerLite. Now, if you have been listening to this podcast for a while, you will know that MailerLite is one of my favorite tech tools. It's the one that I use for all of my email marketing. But if you've just discovered this episode today, I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of what is MailerLite and why it's such a great email marketing platform. So MailerLite helps you grow your audience through automated emails, sending newsletters, getting people to sign up for your freebies, creating landing pages, all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I always recommend MailerLite is because it is free for your first 1,000 subscribers. So you can get started, you can work out how this whole email marketing thing works without worrying about a monthly fee. And there's so much you can do on their free plan. You can have multiple sign-up forms if there's different ways that you want people to join that email list. You can have multiple subscriber groups. You can really understand how people are coming into your world and how they're interacting with you. And you can do multi-step automation. So an automation is that automatic series of emails that people go through normally when they first join your email list. And the reason why it's so important that we start email marketing is because we don't own our social media. So if our account gets hacked or the platform suddenly goes down for whatever reason, or it maybe disappears altogether, you need to have a way that you can keep contacting your followers, your clients, past and current, and continuing to make sales. With email marketing, we own our list and we have to get people to opt in to hear from us. But once they have put in that name, put in that email address, then we are allowed to contact them however we want, really. And then it's up to them to unsubscribe and stop receiving our emails. And it's a way that you can communicate to lots of people all at once without you manually having to copy and paste the same email all the time. So that's a little bit about why you would want to go down the email marketing route. And the reason why I recommend MailerLite, especially when you're first starting out, is because it is free for your first 1,000 subscribers. And there's so much you can do on their free plan. I've launched a membership and a course while still on the free plan. So it really is brilliant what you can do with it. And there is so much that you could do with it. Like, I have filled multiple masterclasses and a whole course teaching people how to use MailerLite. But I thought what I would do today is just pick out 5 of my top tips and then go into MailerLite and actually show you how to do them. So this is a bit of a hands-on episode. So if you are listening to this one, you may want to hop over to YouTube and watch the videos, maybe after you've listened to it. If there's any of the particular tips you're like, I want to know how to do that. So tip number 1 isn't really a tip. It's more just an essential step to make sure you've done it. And that is to authenticate your domain. Now, I've spoken about this a lot on the podcast, but in February of 2024, the whole email marketing game changed when Google and Yahoo brought in new spam updates. And then Microsoft have recently brought theirs in May of 2025 as well. So now if you are using an email marketing platform like MailerLite, you need to have an email address that uses your domain name, and then you need to authenticate it. And what this does is it basically tells all the inboxes of your subscribers that you are a real business, you're not spam, and what's contained in this email is useful information. So the best thing to do is to buy an email address that uses your domain name, and then you can authenticate that in MailerLite. So I'm now going to jump into MailerLite and I'm going to show you where you do that. So as you can see here, it's telling me I have not authenticated my domain, and it's saying it needs to be verified before I can create forms or send emails or anything like that. And the way you need to go to get this set up is into account settings, and then either here on the left hand side to domains, or up here to domains up here. Now, if you have signed up to MailerLite using your domain email address, your domain name will already be showing here, and it will be showing as needs authentication. But if you're not seeing, if you've signed up with maybe a different email address, like a free Gmail account or something like that, you can still add your domain to this account. You just need to click on this green button, add your email address in. You'll then need to go through the wizard to authenticate your domain. Now, I haven't got time to show you all the steps. This, in fact, covers a whole entire training in itself, and I have that available in my spam to sales training, which is only £7. I will pop the link to that into the show notes, but that will show you how to actually authenticate your domain. But just in case you're wondering where it is or how you get started with it, it is going into the account settings and then into this domains area. So I hope you found that first tip helpful. My second MailerLite tip is about setting up your default settings. Now, this is an area that is often overlooked within MailerLite. And these are the settings where you can set up things like your logo, your brand colors, your fonts, what you want your footer text to be, your unsubscribe notice, all that kind of stuff. So then when you go to create emails or landing pages, when you add new elements, they automatically default to your brand fonts and colors, and it just saves you so much time because you don't need to manually adjust the settings each time. Now, the only thing this doesn't work for at the moment is with forms, but don't worry, I have another tip that will help solve that problem. So I'm just going to show you really quickly where the default settings are, just in case you don't know what it is you're looking for and what it is you need to set up. Right, so here we are back on the dashboard. This is still the account that I haven't authenticated yet, but I just wanted to be able to show you where these default settings are. So you go into account settings, and then here, the second tab over is default settings. And here is where you can set up everything. You can set what your default sender email is. This should be the one that you have authenticated. And then you can go down through all the options. You've got logos, you've got brand fonts, colors, social links. This is your kind of footer information, your email subscribe and unsubscribe text. All those things you can set to be defaulted, so then you don't have to go and keep adding them in every time. So yeah, that you just make sure you save the changes once you've finished adding to them, and that's where those default settings are. So tip number 3 is about copying things to drafts to keep your formatting. So I told you I had a workaround for forms that don't take your default settings, but what you can do is you can set up a form once into your brand fonts and colors and all those things that you want it to have, and then you can just duplicate it or copy it to your drafts if it is in the case of emails as well. If you lay out an email that you like, especially if you've got sort of kind of a newsletter format and you want to keep certain sections to your email, you can create it the once and then you can copy to drafts, so you don't have to start from scratch each time. Just make sure if you are duplicating anything that you do update the details. So things like with the forms, you want to make sure that you update the subscriber group because you don't want 2 forms going to the same group. And things like emails, you want to make sure that it's going to the right people. So if it's going to all your subscribers and the new one's going to all your subscribers, then that's absolutely fine. But if you're copying an email and it's going out to different subscriber groups, make sure you change them. So yes, I'm just going to show you what I mean by copying to drafts. So I'm actually going to go into my full MailerLite account for this one. I'm just going to show you how you duplicate the forms. So I'm in my forms and in my embedded forms here. So if this is the one, say that I wanted to copy, go over to this right hand side and pull down this little arrow, and then you can duplicate the form. And what it will do is it will create it with the word copy at the front. If you go back to this little arrow here, you can rename it. So you can call it new form, or like whatever you want the new form to be. And then if you want to update the subscriber group, instead of clicking edit, if you click edit, this will take you into the form so you can actually edit the content of it. But we want to make sure we change the subscriber group first. I would recommend going into overview, and then here you can edit the subscriber group, and then you could choose a new one for your new form. And then in the way of campaigns, so how it works for when you're doing emails is you can just choose one of your recent emails and again go over to this grey button on the side, and we want to copy it to drafts. And what that will do is it will take the content of that exact email exactly as it is, and put it into your drafts folder. And then you can go in to edit it. You can click on that little arrow here to rename it. But if you go in to edit it, you can then edit the content of the email, but it will keep the exact format. As you can see here, it's kept the same banner at the top. It's kept the button in there. So if you do end up styling an email how you want it to be for your newsletter, it will then make things quicker next time if you use that copy feature. Because once you've created something once, you shouldn't have to create it from scratch again. So I hope you enjoyed that tip. Tip number 4, that is to set your automation triggers for when a subscriber joins the group to give you the most flexibility. Now, I'll show you in a minute where all that is and what that means, but let me just explain in case you've not used automations before. So automation is a series of emails people go through based on a trigger, typically joining your email list for the first time by signing up to like a lead magnet or a freebie. And in MailerLite, when you set up an automation, it needs to have a trigger to send the email. So there are a few options that you can do this, but my favorite and the one that I use for everything is when a subscriber joins a group. And that is because you may have multiple forms or a form and a landing page that you all want connected to the same freebie. So for example, for my free masterclass that I run every month, I have a form on the masterclass page. I have a form on the footer of my website, and then I have a third form that's on the side of my blog post, because they're all worded slightly differently or slightly different sizing to fit the pages or the purpose of them. But they all are for the same thing. They are for people to join my free masterclass. The other option is when a subscriber completes a form. Now, if I had it set up for that, I would have to have 3 automations with the same emails, but set up 3 times. Whereas if you select when a subscriber joins a group, what that means is all 3 of those forms can run through the one automation. So they'll all get triggered no matter what form they filled in. And it just means that, because especially for my masterclass, the details of the email change each month because the masterclass changes each month. So I only have to change it in the one automation. I don't have to go and change it in for every single form that I've set up. So I'll just show you what that means. So here's the automation area. And what I'm going to do is create a brand new one. I'm back into my test account now. And I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to call it test, just so that I can show you this trigger. And this is the first thing you do. You need to select the trigger. What is going to make this automation work? And over on the right-hand side here, you get options for that trigger. And it says when a subscriber joins a group or when they click a form. So I would definitely recommend when a subscriber joins a group. And then you choose what subscriber group. I don't have any set up in this test account, but if I did, it would list all my subscriber groups. And then I choose which one I want to be the trigger of this workflow. So if I was doing a lead magnet, it would then be the lead magnet, and then that would set off the automation. So then my 5th and final tip is about naming all of the different areas of MailerLite, because there's basically, to get a kind of flow or funnel or automation running for, say, people joining your email list or downloading your lead magnet, there's 3 different things you're going to need. You're going to need a form, and we've briefly shown about how you can duplicate forms in one of the other tips. You're going to need a subscriber group that they get added to when they complete that form, and you're going to need an automation to deliver the thing that they've signed up for or take them through the series of welcome emails, whatever it is. And you'll end up with multiple ones of these. So my recommendation is to keep the names consistent across all 3 of those different things. So if you set up a form, whatever you name that, make your subscriber group the same name and the automation the same name. Because as things in your business develop and as things grow, you're going to have more forms, more automations, lots more subscriber groups. And to keep track of what goes with what, and so that you can see quite clearly what is connected to what, keeping the names the same will help you do this. Right, so here's my example to show you. So this is my form for my birthday bonus week. So I started by creating my form. Birthday bonus week is happening next week, by the way. And if you're not on my email list, you might want to add yourself to it, because between the 23rd and 27th of June, I'm going to be releasing a new offer exclusive to my email list each day. They'll only be available for the day. And then the next day there'll be a new offer. And there are going to be some great special offers on my current services, some of my one-to-one services, my membership, my mini courses, and then also some exclusive, never released before services that you can buy as well. So yeah, come on to the birthday bonus week, and I would love to get you seeing all of these amazing offers that I've got coming up between the 23rd and 27th of June. So back to the training. So that's the name of the form, is birthday bonus week. If I then show you the group, you'll see here the group is called birthday bonus week. And then if I go over to my automations, you will see I've called the automation birthday bonus week. And you can see there that the trigger is when the subscriber joins the group birthday bonus week. So I now know if I'm trying to look, especially because I have multiple different automations and forms and everything, I can clearly see, right, this one is connected to this group, which is connected to that form, because they're all called the same thing. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed these tips and getting to know more about MailerLite. I am running a free masterclass. It's on Thursday, the 19th of June at 1 o'clock, and it is how to create a landing page for free in MailerLite. And I'm going to take you step by step through designing your page, how to add in pictures and how to put your text in, how to create a professional looking layout, really simple steps. And then we're going to look at how to actually get that page published and live and that link out into the world. So if you would like to join me, the link to register for that masterclass, it will be in the show notes. But you can also go to thismumlovestech.co.uk/masterclass. And the replay is also available for 5 days afterwards. So if you can't make it to the live masterclass at 1 o'clock on the 19th, then yeah, you can still sign up and get the replay for 5 days. I hope you have found all of those MailerLite tips helpful. Hopefully you've learned something new and you're going to go away and make your email marketing even easier. And if you have got any more questions about MailerLite, hopefully I'll see you in the masterclass on Thursday anyway. But if you're listening to this and that date is way past gone, then please come and join the This Mum Loves Tech community over on Facebook, and you can ask your questions in there and I'll be happy to help you. I'm really excited for next week's episode. So next week, a slightly different episode because it's the day before my birthday. I love birthdays, I love celebrating. I want to get as many of you guys involved as possible. So I've recorded a special episode which is full of questions from the lovely ladies in the This Mum Loves Tech community. Yeah, so great variation of questions that I got asked, and I can't wait to share them with all of you next week. So yeah, so I hope you will join me for that edition of This Mum Loves Tech.